I got a cast on, not a Band-Aid. But okay.
Same. I did at least call you a panty waist. I mean, I could have.
Oh, I mean, I'm everything's Gucci, right?
Ahoy.
What's happening?
Nothing. What you doing?
I am looking forward to doing nothing tonight. I'm looking forward to it big time.
You're looking forward to doing nothing. Right on. Okay.
Yeah. Had a weird day.
Tell me more.
Just like, just I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I just didn't feel like doing anything today. I mean, and it was just one of those days I didn't feel like doing anything.
I totally have those days.
Yeah.
They passed.
Yeah. It was kind of weird. I had like meetings and then nothing, and then meetings and then nothing, and then you know what I mean? It was kind of like it was like driving on the highway, pumping the brakes.
My goodness. That's annoying.
Yeah. So, which it won't be like that after January 17th. It takes some on the calendar. But yeah, I am and then I was kind of like butthurt about not being able to probably buy the NFT that I wanted in February.
Why?
Invisible France, because it's like pre-sale. It's not going to be a public mint, so I'm not going to have like those trigger fingers. And it's like pretty much I have to spend like 10 grand on other NFTs to even get on the list to buy this NFT. And I'm not doing that. So I'm just like sitting with that. Yeah. I'm pretty pissed about it. I won't say I'm pissed. Honey. I'm just disappointed. I was, it's like, when you ask for something for Christmas and
you get all excited.
And then you get socks. That's how I felt.
I'm sorry. I love the fact that you're like, I asked for a PlayStation, bitch. I got socks.
I wanted this PlayStation with the remote controls that light up in the dark with the headphones and like,
my goodness,
all the accessories from my 2 games. And I got a pair of white ass ankle socks. That's how I feel right now.
Oh, so damn.
I'm sitting with it.
That's painful.
Yeah.
Okay. I can understand your come from. I can buy into your come from, and I feel you. That I can do. I can feel you for sure.
Yeah. What's up with you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm having a similar day. Like, I really don't feel like doing shit.
Cool.
Not focused today.
Cool. You know what? I just hope it could just be like this. I'm cool with kicking it. I'm cool with it. I'm accepting it. Start the year off right. What's up, Josh?
Yeah.
You there?
Today's just one of them days.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. How you doing?
Good.
I heard something about ankles. I came in a couple minutes after, but I heard something about some ankle socks. Did it come with some lotion?
Nah, no lotion. Like dry ass skin and like polyester, low quality Walmart socks, bro. Like, not even the good socks. Not even the Nikes, bro. Like,
oh no.
He's so let down by the sock theory. I'm telling you.
Oh, we have
some heartbroken sock theory going on right now.
No, remember yesterday I was excited about this NFT project. Last night I get home, I look into I find out that there's like it's pre-sale only, so it's not public sale, and it just like crushed my heart. Like, you got to jump through all these hoops, pay all this money or do all this stuff to get it. And I don't have the time and I don't want to pay the money to it kind of just hurt my spirit. of of the project. I didn't like that.
Do you think that this specific NFT is going through like that classic case of misalignment?
Definitely.
Oh God, that makes it even worse.
Like this, I mean, I get the organic. It talks about vibes and like all that, but like it's almost like I won't even call it like Ponzi scheme-ish or looking out for your friends. But you essentially what they said was you have to buy these other 2 NFTs in order to have enough points to then get accepted onto the whitelist. And it's in this collective. So it's like 3 projects in a collective, 2 of them already launched. And this was the 3rd project with the 3rd artist. And the only way to get on the pre-sale list is if you are holders of the other projects.
Oh, this is a background, honey. This is a leverage. Like this was set up from the beginning. It was always going to be like this. They took the 2 artists that launched already. I can guarantee you the launches didn't go great.
They didn't. There were shit prices. They were like 0.1 ETH, and now they're like 0.9. It pumped so hard after the announcement. Like pumped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is I can also almost guarantee you your 2 front-facing artists like bankrolled this. Because what they're looking for is notoriety. Who has notoriety? The last one. This is a really, really good example of it's not always what you know, it's who you know, and it's who you're friends with. Because that last artist, I can almost guarantee you, probably doesn't have any like a whole lot in terms of skin in the game for like the build out. Doesn't have to do any of the community engagement. Doesn't have to anything, but has the most influence. It's leverage.
Man.
The classic example of leverage.
Yeah, they leveraged the fuck out of this. And I mean, I get it for the whole like
smart.
The thing is the other 2 projects aren't fucking cool for real. You know what I mean? Like I don't even want to own it.
But it was smart. Think about it.
I mean, I get it. Like
if you were the kid that did the not cool project, I'm not saying that like we all want to think that we never would, but what's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. Mm-hmm. But if you want something to get the right kind of attention, then it's really simple. You get in touch with, or you get next to somebody who has the attention that you want.
Yeah.
And voila.
Yeah.
Yep. And voila. Yeah. You now have attention.
So I got my heart broken.
You're heartbroken because you only want one thing and you're clear about what you want. I can guarantee you everybody else bought into it to not be left on the FOMO bus and just to get what they were after. And what it ends up doing, it's going to water it down. The dilution factor will hurt your last artist if he doesn't do breakaway things, not with this team.
Yeah.
But that's also, that's also the catch-22 about community. This is a good topic, though. I know you're moving on. I know your feelings are hurt. And this is a killer topic when it comes to, like, how do you leverage relationship in business? And is there a right way versus a wrong way to do it? Is there a fair way versus an unfair way to do it? Does it piss some people off? You fucking bet it does. How many times have you looked around in business and like watched or looked at like an amazing coach or an amazing speaker or an amazing teacher that's bundled up with people that literally make you want to jump off a bridge? What you look at is why did you structure it this way? How did they structure it? Why did you structure it this way? And what is that win-win benefit? Because more often than not, the icon human being is getting something out of it that they truly need. And the win-win benefit is that somebody else is getting a whole lot of screen time with an audience that they want to be in front of. It's kind of like getting people on podcasts. Same concept. Different execution, same concept.
Yeah, I've seen some interesting strategies with partnering with other projects and giving limited number of access to, to people
Specific
in that
people.
project. Yep. To join another project. And it's a win-win for the project who's doing it because they're giving more value to their community, right? For something that other people spend like 40 hours or, you know what I mean? Like they're skipping the line. It's like skipping the line, right? Yes. Because you have this t-shirt on, right? You have the special t-shirt on, so you get to skip the line, right? And I get it. Like I am not taking it. I'm trying not to take it personally.
No, I'm trying to turn this into a topic of conversation for today.
For the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like, stop and look at this. The directions going. You're like, no, I'm a little too butthurt right now.
I don't want to talk about it.
Somebody is bent.
I am. It's literally fucked my day. Like I am. I've been like. I need to like.
Pouting?
I'm not pouting. I need to like hit something.
Yes,
I'm pissed.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty angry. God. And then on top of that, on Salt on Energy, I'm not complaining here. I'm just being like, I'm just like fucking bent right now. But then the Fed dumbass comes out and like, says something like, like they're gonna, it's so off topic, but
go for it.
The market's looking like it's going to correct, right? Because of the interest rates, and they're talking about running off the balance sheet, and they're showing signs of hawkishness, and everyone's shitting their pants, and we're going to be in. It's going to be pretty interesting, right? Just put it that way. And so, to add insult on top of injury, in one of my freaking accounts, I pretty much got like fucking almost, essentially like hit with the margin call. Right. So I just got like fucked. Ooh. Right. Fucked. And so I had to swallow that because I thought it was a good idea a month and a half ago to buy the dip with the leverage.
Oh,
and I got fucked. So I'm just like, like the last 24 hours.
A little bit today.
Huh?
Just a little PV today.
Just a little bit. I am fucking pissed right now. But it's cool. It's all good. That life is still good. I'm breathing. You guys are here. I wasn't, you guys are here. So, let's get into something. I just want to let you guys know what's in my life. So you guys get to lead today's discussion. And I'm just going to participate. I'm going to be a participant today.
Today it's my podcast. That's what's going on.
It's your pod today. It's your pod.
Okay, well, I'm going to stick to all the things that come with what we call New Year's resolutions, which I think are fucking asinine. A and B. Like, I don't do anything for more than a week. Like resolutions, or like you're setting a goal, set it, do it for a week, adjust. This whole like, I'm going to be a whole new me this year. It's lessened online, first and foremost. Like what I'm seeing across the board in like data matrix and people talking, like it is definitely lessened this year. And also like when it comes to like the start of a new year, there is an uptick or an upswing in how you feel about what you're up to. So there's a bonus in that. There's merit to it. So if you take the shit out of making like way too long goals that people can't follow through with, but keep everything else that works in that whole new year, new you, like what would be the one thing that you would put on that request list that you have yet to be able to accomplish and have attempted before? Don't everybody speak at once.
Josh's shoe, big dog.
So your question is, like, what would I add to it, or what?
Like, what do you want this year that you have yet to accomplish, but have attempted before?
Sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can go if you need some time to think, Josh.
Honestly, I would say I really want to hit $500,000 in my business. That's something that I have attempted, but I have yet to accomplish by a long shot.
Nice. Okay.
Um,
Why is that an important goal?
Cool.
What is it about 500,000 specifically that you want to accomplish? Like, what is it going to change? What's it going to cause? What's it going to make you feel?
A sense of forward momentum in my business, a sense of being able to empower other creatives to come along the vision and attach to that vision. It will bring a sense of maybe some substance behind the vision where people can get behind it and they can actually see that, hey, this is going somewhere. Besides that, I would say a sense of freedom.
Okay. I can buy into that for now. Why is it $500,000? Why does that matter? Why is it that goal? Why is it that number?
Honestly, I think it's because it's tied into this like innate competitiveness, excuse me, that I know I have regarding. It's intertwined with football. Football, okay. It's like league minimum basic. I mean, it's league minimum is a little bit higher, but being able to at least make that means in my mind that I'm at least in the race.
Interesting. Now that I can get behind. That's the talking point. Means you're at least in the race. So, I mean, I know what that statement means, but for everybody that's listening to this podcast, they're gonna be like, "What race is he fucking talking about?" Explain what you mean by being in the race.
So in essence, it's the race that I have set out to accomplish when I first even stepped on the football field, and I knew that this is something, or that football was what I wanted to do long term, as far as like the first aspect of the overall journey and purpose. Towards the grand scheme of things of what I actually want to build, I knew that if I could at least be, like the mindset was like, oh, if I'm not even if I'm not on the active roster, I could at least be on practice squad. You're at least making a couple $100,000, gross, and still able to grow with the team, still able to develop in a powerful way. The thing, makes you become on the active roster. And as you continue growing up and being a vet, you make more and more money. But yeah, I'd say that at least allows me to be in the race of the momentum that I feel like I've lost along the journey when I hung up the cleats and I was no longer pursuing football.
Okay, so now and Josh, we're going to be totally transparent, because I've never actually asked you to tell this story. Why'd you hang up your cleats? And you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, no worries. I believe in transparency. It's there's a sense of freedom that comes with it. I hung up the cleats for I think a couple of reasons. One was I started to doubt myself and doubt my own abilities. Because after a while of setback, your trials and tribulations of different kinds, whether it's in university and transitioning from there to spending my last year at USC to go play ball there, NCAA denied that last year of eligibility right before fall camp. That led to more discouragement. Going from a different route to pursuing the NFL. Training with some guys in the off season and blah blah blah. Blowing out my knee, having to get knee surgery. Still coming back, but I think that was like my 6th surgery at that time. So, it just got to a point where it felt like it was causing more headache than it was, fulfillment at that time. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun anymore. It became, especially when you start understanding the nature of the business, and I started realizing that I had value outside of just playing sports. And I started, I actually joined the ALA community, realized that my life was, worth living, and it was so much more than just sports. And that there was other things, even if I wasn't an athlete, that I can infiltrate the sports realm and add value to, and add as much problem solving and ability to influence in athletes. See, caught myself there.
Doing good.
And I appreciate that. But it provides a good amount of or another level of influence and maybe substance that I can provide for athletes in the long term. And I just realized that, I think I was hiding it, all that rooted at the end of the day in fear to continue pushing it and continue seeing like, dang, how far can I go? How long can I go as I'm continuing to develop and become a man? How long can I go in this process of pursuing the NFL, doing all this stuff when I know I'm only being able to work part-time jobs or, rinky-dink jobs, because I can't hold a full-time job and actually pursue the NFL like that. It just does not. It works. It can work, but it's extremely hard.
It doesn't work. Not if you're putting all of your time into it. That it's too hard. I don't blame you.
Right. That's true. And I think in that process, I just realized that, life started lifing, as I started getting exposed to more things, especially within the, leadership community. And I started realizing that people were doing amazing things and that I also had more gifts to offer the world other than just, picking up a football. It's just
eye-opener, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very eye-opening. And it was, I couldn't escape the reality of like what I was exposed to. Although I didn't have it, there was no clarity. There was no, blueprint laid out like football always has, from you pretty much know what you're doing from high school on to college, every single day on college campus, what you're doing at any given time. Your whole entire life is structured onto, pursuing pro, where it's a little bit more gray because you're like, okay, I know I'm training at these times, and whatnot, but like, what am I doing when I'm not in that mode? So kind of going from there, I think it's over time, it led to fear. It led to me lacking confidence in myself and realizing that, hey, like at some point as a man, like I said, I know I said this on a previous episode. I come from my dad is very traditional Texas, bootstrap type guy. So it's at the end of the day, it's like, a man that doesn't work doesn't eat. At some point you have to become a man and put away childish things. Football is a child's game, where if you can make it happen, make it happen. If it doesn't happen by a certain window, it's time for you to start, assessing life and, growing up and putting away those things. And as that started to infiltrate my mind a little bit more, I started to realize that, like I'm having more bills than I'm having money at the end of the month. I'm having more, especially with training and recovery and rehab and all sorts of stuff, So after a while, it got to the point where it was just like, how much longer am I going to chase this dream, knowing that I can make it? Even so to this day, I believe that if I really gave it my all and I really, got back in football shape and everything, I firmly believe I could still be out there making it happen. Just got to the point where I realized it wasn't
the only thing you wanted to do.
Yes. And it's just not worth it. After a certain point, when you realize who you are, you realize what's inside of you. You realize that you're depleting yourself of the 10% when there's 90% left. That's, that the world really does need. Yeah. So I think over time, it just that's really what led me to hanging up the cleats and kind of wrestling with it for a couple of years of, I think I'm going to make a comeback. And I think the pandemic was actually the beginning of the pandemic, to be more specific, was when I finally just faced the music that, man, like God has other plans for me. There's no point of me continuing to opening up this door, because the fact that I'm opening it within itself shows that my gift is no longer making room for me. And it's time for me to shift and figure out what actually is opening up that door.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
So like, I mean, so for just as like kind of a chunk of a backstory, like there's never just one thing. Like everybody wants to acquire a thing, like, oh, this New Year's Eve resolution. I set this goal. I did this thing. But what that one thing's never just one thing. There's not any one thing that you're setting, quote unquote, setting out to do that's going to get you over some magical, specific, unique little hump and all of a sudden change like your perspective or change what, like, that's not how it works. That is not how the universe works. The universe works in way different ways than that. And the truth is that when you're searching for that, I'm going to do this thing. It's not the doing, but it's the direction that you're going. So we're talking about New Year's, since Desmond wants to participate instead of be his comical little self because he's got a Band-Aid on. And I'm going to keep picking on him until he starts laughing again. And let's take our participating little Band-Aid and find out what his one thing is.
I got a cast on, not a Band-Aid, but okay.
Same. I did at least call you a panty waist. I mean, I could have.
Oh, I mean, I'm everything's Gucci, right? But I would have to say that something that mine's for sure. I was gonna say it's a tie, but something I said I was going to do that I didn't do was I was going to buy an invisible. I'm joking, guys, but it was for sure being a speaker. I've said this, like, I've always wanted to be on stage and just like bring heat, bring energy, and just like light up a crowd, right? It's literally been on like something I've always wanted to do since I was in high school. And I've always said, I'll get to it, one of those things that I literally thought that for some reason, like, that it won't happen. And I pretty much swept it under the rug until after, some personal development and jumping into entrepreneurship. And I was like, man, I actually want to, but then I'm like, well, where does this fit? Right. Like, I didn't see it as a viable path to make money, right, at the time. Mm-hmm. Right. And I didn't even know where to start. Right. Like, I did Toastmasters. I literally signed up for Toastmasters to do it. I tried to start a podcast before, but I was by myself and I didn't have two awesome people like you guys, just buttering you up a little bit, just a tiny bit. Aww. But, hey, we're 12 episodes in, right? That's 9 more than my last one. So we're like quadrupled, right? In a way faster period of time. But, so like I wanted to do it, and I just like, I think a lot of it came down to like worthiness, to be quite transparent. Like, dang, do I even like believe, like, do I truly even believe in myself? Right. And then also fear of failure, right? Like scared, like of like humiliation, not humiliation of like being on stage, but humiliation of like failing. Right. Like I'm just in my mind, I'm like visualizing myself failing an audition every single day for 365 days in a row, sometimes twice a day. It's like, that's the feeling I have internally, and being rejected 365 times, right? Being laughed at, right? It's like, that's what I've been struggling with internally with it, even though I really want to do it. And I made declarations for it. I feel like I did it in 2019. No, 2020. In 2020, I made that declaration. And
why? So pause. I'm going to ask this really specifically. The first time you made that declaration, when you made it in 2020, why did you make it? What was either the instigator or the driver, however that shows up?
At the time, I was like, man, I want to help more people like me, who are like me, see the light of like get through the full transparency, right? Like, I'm African-American man. I come from, humble beginnings, so to speak, at a lot of odds, right? Like a lot of barriers and, things to, pretty much a lot of growth, right? Like it was not easy, right? The percentage chance of me getting out of the situation I was in was pretty much less than 1%. right? With just to be completely transparent. And so at the time I was like, being at, this is when I was like crushing it in corporate. I was like, man, like, how can I help other people who are come from my situation, like also see that there is a path to get through like the limiting beliefs, right? In terms of like, it was conversations with kids I used to have from my hometown who like couldn't even like quantify like a chance of doing something like as we consider normal, right? Like get a good job, graduate from college. Like they couldn't even like it's like they didn't even like consider it, right? Like they thought it was like a fairy tale, right? And I just wanted to create paradigm shifts and spark curiosity and spark something that could lead to changing generational poverty, right? Generational poverty mindset. That was like my spark of like, man, I get to like, it's my responsibility to give back. This is when I was self-righteous as fuck, right? To give back. Coming from a place of, I hope that we can go another podcast episode about virtue signaling and all that stuff. But, I wanted to save the manatees, right? I'm not trying to equate my current situation with like manatee, but, I was like, let's save the world, right? And at the same time, I was scared to actually do it, to be super real, right? Like be super honest. Like, so yeah, I don't know if that answers your question or not.
It does. I mean, honestly, like so many people have either like a brilliant idea, a good notion, they're headed in the right direction, their heart's in the right place, and either the lack of access or the fear of failure is what buries some of the best ideas that the world has ever known. It's one or the other. It's a lack of access or a fear of failure. But they all come down to the same thing. It's that blind leap of faith. Like, can you step into an unknown, unseen abyss and fall without a parachute? Most people flying.
I felt like at the time I think I was check both of those boxes. Like I was scared of failure and I was in denial about it, like, oh, I'm not scared, but like deep down I knew it, right? I was lying to myself. And then number two was I did not have the access to the people. I felt like compared to now, what I know now, who I know now, and back then, like my network wasn't in alignment with my goals.
Right? Oh, there we go. That's the golden ticket for this whole podcast. Is your network in alignment with your actual goals? It's who you know, where you're at, what you're touching, like is what you're up to right now in alignment with where you truly want to go. And if it's not, how do you fix it? Now, that's a fucking loaded question if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, and man, I'm just laughing because I could even say the same thing now with some crazy big gigantic goals that I have. Like even some like I even want to make, but I'm even scared to make them. Like I'm being super vulnerable today on the podcast. I don't know what's going on. I need some tissues or some shit, but
good. That's yummy stuff right there.
But like, like I have some goals that are like, I want it so bad, but like, I'm so freaking scared of like, even like considering them because I logically in my head, my engineering brain is like, how do I get there? And like, even though I have a decent network now, I won't call it decent. I love my network. I love all my peeps. Shout out to my peeps if you're listening. But like, I just know that my network is nowhere near where it needs to be for me to hit that goal right now at this present moment. Like there is no path. Like I can't see a path, right? And so if I can't see a path and my ego is protecting me, this is being super transparent, guys. This is behind the curtain. My ego's protected me saying like, no, you can't dream that big. Even about dreaming, you can't like be realistic, Desmond. right? What's some small wins, small wins, small wins. Those are some of the internal things that I personally, especially since I've been taking a step back, looking at a bird's eye view, that I personally struggle with is like stepping into, damn, I can get that big hairy goal, right? And like own it. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Nice. Talk about like busting out the vulnerability here. Just wanted to participate.
I mean, I am participating. I'm a
For
recipient.
just wanting to participate, I think that you're more than participating. I think that you're like jumping into stuff that most people wouldn't. Like this is the catch about business. Like everybody wants to be their own boss, and everybody wants to be a millionaire, and everybody wants to. They want XYZ goal, and I will say, for two reasons: A, because I'm your coach, and two, because I said so. And I know you. Like, there's a reason why wanting to speak before didn't pan out. There's a big reason why it didn't pan out. It didn't pan out because you didn't want to speak. You wanted to speak to solve a dream, not to actually convey a set of a value or to deliver something to someone who needed it. You had something you wanted to be heard on. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that led it to be heard on. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, now we're getting into some like deep, fundamental, like human desires, right? Like to be heard.
Yep.
Right. I definitely
Human
felt
beings
like that. Want to be heard.
Have a strong, unrelenting desire to be heard. Now, when we want to be heard and we don't have, and we want to be heard simply to be heard, or so that we feel worthy, it doesn't usually pan out all that well. Being heard just to feel worthy is, for lack of a better way to say it, like in the business world, don't take this out of context. This has nothing to do with personal development, but when we speak to be heard, speak to hear ourselves talk, in the business world, it's self-centered. It's self-serving. When we speak to solve a problem, when we speak to cause an idea, to trigger the aha moment, to, insight, curiosity, interest, query, leaps of faith, abounds. Like when you speak for the solution being something other than your own, being heard is just, it's an added bonus on the backside. Then feeling heard is simply just a subset of that. But if we speak so that we hear our own voice, then being heard is the only thing that happens. And people stop listening pretty quickly. It doesn't take long for people to go, yeah, that was neat. I'm good. You can go now. And that's kind of it. Whereas you look at things even just slightly differently. And I mean this in the easiest way. Like, it's like, hey, I want to speak to you about something I know to be true that I went through and what I did to get there. You do get to hear your own voice. And also, somebody else gets to grasp a moment in time that may not have ever otherwise been shared with them. Then you're causing pause. You start to do things where you cause, and it's a whole nother ballgame. It's a whole nother ballgame. Then you're doing things for reasons that are more than just your own. It doesn't have to be just for or just because, but it does have to be more than just for you. That's where impact comes in. That's where the drivers come in. That's where collaboration and partnership, that's where growth in miles, that's where experiential events and things fall into a business model. And that's where you can move the needle with what we call little to no effort, because you're not having to pound the pavement or repeat the same motion over and over and over. You put 500 people in a room and you repeat the motion once, and you've then caused impact 500 times faster than you have before. Speaking is a vehicle. The destination has to be tuned in. The destination and the outcome execution. Once we get to this destination, then what? If you don't tune those things in and you don't know where you're going, it's not going to go well. It just won't. But if you have a clear view on, okay, here's my vehicle and we're running, it's so quickly, like in moments, you'll see something shift so fast where it's like, oh, so this is what this looks like. And now I can help you and you and you and you. Then you're in the impact game. And then now it's a speed up moment. So thank you for sharing, Desmond. It took you a couple years to get to a point where you had not only the knowledge, but the bandwidth to be able to step into something where on the backside, you're going to have to run. There's no ifs, ands. When you get to the backside of this, you will be running. That's how it works. So patience pays off.
I like to run. Yeah.
I like to run.
But this week I'm walking. I'm laying hard. Like I'm definitely not. I'm definitely being patient this month for sure. This was a great random topic today. I love how like authentic and raw this pod is, and I always have a lot of fun with you guys. I just made an executive decision of like as and it's crazy with vulnerability what creativity comes out, but I just like declared of I'm not like, oh man, I'm so excited to get this out, but I'm officially going to hire a person to do memes, like all their just the like chief meme officer, like someone that all they do is create memes because all right guys, there's concept behind this. One, for personal, for social media and for the pod, because we want to have a little fun here, but then also for these goddamn NFT projects. That's how you get on the whitelist, is creating memes and stuff. And it's like, I don't have time to do it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hire someone to just freaking churn out memes. And I'm just going to flood the freaking Discords and Twitter and all these social media channels with like funny ass memes. So if you guys need memes, let me know, because I'm in the market. And Kit, if you're listening to this, you add it to your list. This is important. So, so guys, I feel better knowing that I just solved my problem with, I just get to ask for help, right? Like that's usually the answer to all problems.
Love it. It's beautiful.
Memes, baby. Let's go.
I need some memes. He says, I need some memes.
Yeah. So audience, just kind of give you some background information on this. So like, in the NFT world, like memes are pretty like they're
a big deal.
It's pretty influential because it's all about having fun. And a lot of the people in the NFT space are very sarcastic. So that, it's a lot of high intellect. Obviously there's, different people, different levels, but there's a lot of really, 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 really smart people in the space. And so like sarcasm, keeping it fun, memes, like it's pretty well received. And so a lot of these projects run contests. I mean, there's a ton of contests. Like every single project runs contests around art, fan art, and memes. And getting in, let's say, in the top 10 of best meme or best art project can be the difference between getting into the club with the t-shirt or sitting outside waiting for everyone else paying a 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 times higher than what you could have got at the initial purchase price, right? So that's why I'm going to get someone to help me out. It's like, yeah. So I'm super stoked. 2022 is going to be great. Let's go to the moon.
I love it. I'm in. I will stand behind your choices to meme.
Meme game strong.
Meme game is very strong.
So today was great. Thanks for listening to the pod, guys. We love you. If you find this pod pretty cool, pretty interesting, you think it'll resonate with someone, hit that share button. Share it to the world. Definitely leave us a review, a rating, a comment. Send us an email. Yeah, send us an email. And then also, if you want to be on the pod, go to campfirecapitalism.com and request to join the show. We'll love to play with you in our sandbox. You got anything else you want to add, Heather? Or are you ready to rock and roll?
Now I'm rocking and rolling.
All right, let's get it. All right, much love, guys. Peace.